Yora, I'm Rano. Today we're going to talk about contractions. So, the question is, when do we use contractions? And the answer is always and never. Amazing. There are situations in which we can use contractions and situations in which we shouldn't use contractions. Shouldn't. But in general, if you forget everything and just don't even care, I will say it to you this way. When you're speaking, go for it. Contract all you want. And when you're writing, no. Stop. Just go home. No. Alright, let me give you some examples. If I'm writing to my friend, it's probably pretty informal. I can use contractions. But if I'm writing for a job, I'm writing to someone I don't know, I'm writing an essay or a report or any kind of formal writing, even if maybe I'm writing a book and my narrator is omnipresent, as in not the main character, if the protagonist of the story wants to use contractions in their own head, that's totally different. But let's put books aside. Let's not talk about books, that's very complicated. But in general, writing, especially in essays, oh my gosh. Okay, first of all, your essays tend to have a word count. Let's say a lot of my students have to write essays that are maybe 300 words, which is so short. And they complain and they cry and they go, Brew, what you doing, Brew? I didn't want to write an essay like that, Brew. It's so long. No. When I was their age, when I was hiking uphill 10 kilometers to school both ways in the snow, no, it didn't happen. But regardless, when I was in high school, I had to write essays that were several pages, and especially at university as well. You had to write so much, thousands of words. So there's like 200 words. Nah, that's easy. But when you write your 200-word essay, a contraction is one word. And without the contraction is 2 words. So stop limiting yourself. Yeah. But in general, don't use contractions in essays. It is not formal writing. It is informal writing, a contraction. And it makes your essay look lazy and like you didn't care to think that I'm trying to write in a formal way. So just avoid them while writing. Then we have speaking. Yes. So in general, you can use contractions all the time, and it's probably better. The reason we would not use a contraction in regular English speech is because we want to make something emphatic. We want to emphasize something. For example, how about don't? Ooh, or can't. Can't is a good one. I cannot take it. Yeah, there's some exasperation in it. I cannot take it. Versus, I can't take it anymore. Then my emphasis is actually on the anymore. I'm kind of just, can't is the little word that I'm kind of gliding across. But if I say I cannot, I'm really emphasizing my inability to want to wash the dishes. I cannot wash another dish. Versus if I say I can't wash another dish, it usually is not an emotional thing. Cannot is more emotional. Can't is less emotional. When speaking, I would almost always say I'm. But if I'm falls at the end of the sentence, for example, are you going to the baseball game? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. You're agreeing. You could also say yes, I'm going, or just yes, but you wouldn't say yes, I'm. No, that's super awkward. You can't say that. We also might use I am for emphasis. I am here. Hello. So that's a bit of a strange sentence, kind of without context, but in general, we would use it for emphasis. Let's take your. Usually, of course, when we flip it around, what are you doing? We have to put the R first. Or let's say, You're right. You're wrong. You are so late. There we go. You're so late. Yeah, we just separated for emphasis. That'd be you are so late, or yes, you are. Sorry, I'm late. Yes, you are late. Yes, you're late. It feels pretty similar. So it's a little interchangeable, but in general, I'd mostly say you're, unless, of course, it was the end of the sentence, and then I would say yes, you are, not yes, you're. Yes, you're. Yours. Well, yours is a different word. Ciao.